We've heard a lot on new applications for transfer stations, maybe some small capacity increases here and there. This question is from John Swan from Save Forest Lake. I think it's a New Hampshire-based organization. What's the likelihood about having a new landfill sited in Massachusetts?
I can take a shot at that, and then maybe the chiefs can weigh in. I think, we heard from Central and Southeast about new landfill expansion projects that have recently been permitted in Fitchburg and Bourne. I think that's the most likely scenario at this point for a new landfill project. However, I think it's important to point out that we do not have restrictions on permitting new landfills. So if new landfill capacity comes to us that meets our requirements and it's able to get a site assignment locally, we are prepared to permit projects like that. So we don't have a restriction on landfill permitting.
I mean, one of the things I always start when someone asks me, well, how do you permit a new landfill? I explain that we have something called the site assignment process. The site assignment process, the permit itself, is unique in terms of solid waste permitting. The department compares the criteria in our regulations to the facility to see if it meets current setbacks and just says whether it meets it or not. The department does not make the final decision on site assignment. It is a local Board of Health decision. So there's a two-part. Department determines it meets certain requirements, and the Board of Health decides whether to site assign it for a landfill. That being said, I would agree with John that almost all, well, I can't think of anything recent, but all the discussions I've had in the last 5 or 10 years have been adjacent parcels next to existing facilities, vertical expansions, and then more recently, more discussions on mechanical stabilized berms to try to get additional airspace that way.
Thank you.
I won't repeat too much, but in the Northeast region, obviously we rely on waste to energy for disposal. We don't have any MSW capacity, and like Mark said, I mean, the first step is just the siting criteria, and being a dense, very settled part of the state, that could be a big step to overcome, and ultimately it's the Board of Health decision and the community support for it. So I'll hold it at that.